Hi, I'm Laverne Spicer, and I'm here with Jake Lake.
We've got Trump. We don't have Fed traps right now.
Yeah.
Not for us.
Good point.
We used to be afraid of the feds.
We're not anymore. We beat the feds. We beat the feds. The only reason why he's not in jail right now is because he's a young black man. Hi, I'm Phil Banderson. I want to give a warning to the world and to the entire country here in America.
I grew up as a 17-year-old young white man too, and I grew up in fear of my life around black people because they were killing and robbing people around me all the time.
Let me finish. I give you your time. You take my son's face off your website. I am not associated with you.
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir.
And just like that, we back. What it do, people? How y'all doing out there in the world? I'm okay myself. I hope you're doing just fine. As always, if you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe to the content, man, and we're going to keep it moving. With that said, let's get right into this. I tried my best to not have to touch this subject. You know what I'm saying? Because it was some real wild emotions going on around this whole case, man. It's not been hashed out yet, but you know, the usual provocateurs, man, have grabbed the situation and of course made it political and just pitted themselves on one side of it, and then so it forces everyone's hand accordingly, man. And it just really it's a wild vibe to it. But you know, sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. In this situation, a young man chose to fight a punch with a knife. You dig what I'm saying? Now, let's go ahead and just get this out the way. Let's get my rundown and my whole little outlook on this Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf situation. Now, it is my belief that no one out here is happy about the loss of life of a teenager, a kid. We all have kids for the most part. I've got a kid that's in high school sports. Many of us do. We can sympathize with what that loss would feel like, man. And we don't, you know what I'm saying? We know the heat of competition. A lot of things happen in little fights and skirmishes, injuries, but it's my belief that no one is out here wishing the loss of life or celebrating the loss of life of one of those individuals, man. So with that being said, you know, things have taken a turn in this case that have forced people to in defense of a particular side, have taken, you know, it's caused some people to take some really ill stances on this thing, man. Now, if we're to understand right, Carmelo Anthony, a track participant out in Frisco, Texas, although he wasn't participating in the track event that day, he went to, we're assuming, watch some friends. Me having experience being a high school athlete and also having one that's a high school athlete now, and being able to reach back in my memory of a couple of months ago, some little static starting with a particular team, and it leaked over into their most recent game with that same team. So we've seen it all before. So he goes to the track meet. He's armed with a knife. It's my belief that he's armed with a knife because there was some prior smoke. You dig what I'm saying? Out here at this place with these two individuals. The two schools are probably rivals, this, that, and the third. You know how high school athletics go. Story goes that one Austin Metcalf, in an attempt to remove Mr. Anthony from the seat in which he was sitting under the tent where everyone was seeking refuge from the precipitation, they go to exchange words. He tells Mr. Anthony to get up and leave. They exchange words. From what we understand so far, Mr. Anthony says, "Touch me and see what happens." Mr. Metcalf proceeded to touch him on the shoulder. Mr. Anthony says, "Punch me and see what happens." Mr. Metcalf proceeds to punch Mr. Anthony. In turn, Mr. Anthony stands up with his hand already in his bag, stands up, pulls out a knife, stabs Mr. Metcalf in the chest, him dying shortly thereafter. I can see the argument from people that saying that was not an appropriate reaction. I can see it from the standpoint of saying one guy had fists and one guy had a knife. But it's not that simple. You have to get into the frame of minds and things like that now. You know, because a lot of times, like when police shoot people, it's because they say they were afraid for their life. When it comes to the stand your ground law, from what I'm understanding, the main definition for that thing, the main thing that you need to be able to play that role is that you were in fear for your life. And people scream all the time like, no, why were you afraid for your life? Well, you can't get into someone's head. You can't say how much of a coward or how much of a fight or flight someone, you know what I mean? That's not something you can quantify. At the heat of the moment, it happens. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, that's where the sticking point comes in. Because if we understand correctly, Austin had a twin brother, and there were some other things. I'll let people look into the autopsy report and all of that. I don't want to speculate on exactly what was going on, but from what we understand, it was something like a bullying situation, and that's how he reacted. Now, again, there's something to the argument to, well, why did you go to that level when they were just, but then on the other token, if he didn't go to that level and you say, okay, why didn't he just fight them or fight him man to man? Well, maybe he didn't think he could whoop Austin. From what we understand, it was a 2-on-1. It was Austin and his twin brother. So, you know, one outcome could have been from him standing up and trying to fight them back. They could have mauled and beat that man, knocked him out. He fell, hit his head on the bleachers. Now he's dead. You understand what I'm saying? And the common denominator that points to, you know, the fault that we can definitely point to, which in either one of those outcomes that I just spoke about, you know, the outcome that happened or they could have killed Carmelo. The one thing in both of those situations is that Mr. Metcalf chose to not keep his hands, feet, and other objects to himself. That is the one thing that we cannot skip over. We cannot skip over that fact. You can, you know, because you don't know what's in someone else's mind. You don't know what kind of day they've had. You don't know what they've been dealing with. So you can't govern someone's reaction. You don't know how mad someone else's mad is. Your 100 may not be their 100. But had you kept it at 0, then we wouldn't have had to know what his 100 was. So that's the main thing we cannot skip over, man. It is unfortunate that it happened like that, because those are two lives forever altered. Those are two families forever altered, and it's created just another dynamite stick point out here in the world after just the tumult that we've been in after our current political season and the current political fracas we got going on right now, man. So there were some people, like I said, that tried to seize upon this opportunity to, stoke some anger, get some furniture moving around here. You dig what I'm saying? Whichever one of them analogies you want to grasp upon. You had people like the Matt Walshes of the world just putting out super inflammatory tweets, and the Jake Shields and the Matt Wallaces and the Gunter Engelmans, the whole gamut. You dig what I'm saying? Then you started to hear trickles about a protest going on. You know what I'm saying? Flyers and commercials started to hit the airwaves.
The message today is very simple. We need justice. Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf's murderer, is still on the loose. His bond needs to be revoked. Right here is the scene. Austin Metcalf's blood is still stained on the bleachers. It is crying out for justice. Come join me today for a peaceful event, 11 a.m. Central, here at Kai Kendall Stadium, Frisco, Texas. Be peaceful and let God lead this event.
That is a one Jake Lang. Now, from what I understand, Mr. Jake Lang gained fame around the January 6 times. Apparently, he was one of the main provocateurs, one of the main organizers. He was out there running around being stupid, him and another guy that we'll get to here in a minute. I'm not sure if he went to prison and was pardoned or what have you. You know, Trump let all 1,500 of them out. But at any rate, here he is again. You know what I'm saying? He's stoking the flames. He's organizing an event. Now, I spoke about it online when I saw it. I didn't think that, regardless of how good of an idea or whatever I thought it was, I didn't think it would be a big turnout. You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot of whisperings or a lot of tweets, you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to call it, about some action being taken out here and how fed up and this, that, and the third. And, you know, at the end of the day, man, I think the participation numbers are down most of the time on these things because they don't really have a box to stand on. Like the things that they're out here railing against, there's an underlying factor to all of it, and I think ultimately that's just a battle that they won't win. So you've got people that's hanging on to it at least from a safe location type of deal. But as far as getting out here in the streets and really trying to stand on some of the ideals that they espouse, it's a losing prospect. You dig what I'm saying? But that doesn't keep certain people from trying to capitalize and grift off of this situation. And speaking of grifters, Mr. Jake, he got a little help from one Laverne Spicer. Let's check him out.
Hi, I'm Laverne Spicer, and I'm here with Jake Lang, and we're here to support the protests that will be taking place in
Frisco, Texas,
on Saturday.
Yes.
And we would like for everyone to come out and join us as we protest in unity. And we have a peaceful protest.
I'm sorry, bro. I gotta ask, is there something wrong with Laverne, bro? Did Laverne forget where she was, who she was speaking about, who she was speaking to, what day it was, where was the location? What is wrong with her? If she can't curse, bro, this thing about her, if she can't cuss, it's over with. You did what I'm saying. If you let her say MF and ass and shit and damn like all over the video, then she can talk. Cause she insert them like every 3 regular words, then she put a curse word. So just a regular script like a normal human being, no sir, you cannot involve Laverne Spicer in that type of proper enunciation. You know what I'm saying? It's not in her cards. But it doesn't, they don't miss an opportunity to shine some shoes. You dig what I'm saying? And so there she was. And speaking of shoe shiners, someone that was told about face, you dig what I'm saying, that you, sir, are a token. You are put in place to have a hole in the back of your head in which a megaphone can fit through, and then people that don't look like you can say what they want through that megaphone and out of your mouth, out of your open orifice on the front of your face. He was told that. But here he goes. I guess they kind of straddle the fence these days. They try to stick up for certain issues. I don't know, man. They trying to put one foot in, one foot out. Now they see the House of Cards is on fire. On fire. You dig what I'm saying? But let's check him out with his, I guess his enlightened view and enlightened opinion on this thing.
But it is up to you and the members, the Little Gunna and Little Ty Savage and all these rappers. They are perpetrating violence with the culture they are spreading against my people that I represent. And I'm here today to make a stand. Actually, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central at Kai Kendall Stadium, the place where Metcalf's blood is still fresh on the bleachers. Tomorrow in Frisco, Texas at 11 a.m., we will be praying in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. We will be advocating for white safety, for white people to protect themselves against the violence that is being perpetrated against us. And of course, we will be addressing the issue of the violent gang culture that has basically usurped the entire black ideology in America, and calling upon our black brothers to stand with us and to extricate, to drive that out, to condemn that culture by and large, which I know you do. but it needs to be said not just in a general statement. It needs to be said the actual results of that culture are being not just perpetrated black on black violence. You can look at that statistic all day. I'm here as a representative of my community. I'm saying enough is enough. Enough black violence on white people in America.
Jake, let me ask you another question. You've taken your identity, like you've bought into the same solution or the same identity that has helped walk black people into this pagan culture. They take their identity from their skin color rather than taking their identity in Christ.
All right, that's enough of Jason. I can't even stand to hear his voice too much. Just look at him over there, bro. They look like sister and brother, him and Laverne. They could be. I mean, oh God, just two horrible looking human beings, bro. Like, how was it even possible? But you heard Jake Lang speaking to Jason Whitlock. He says that we are praying for white safety. The culture, Lil Tay Uzi Vert 500, and people like him are steering the black culture and just to an area of just darkness and unrecoverability. What's wrong with them, Jason? You need to tell them about themselves. They need to get right. And you know, now, hey man, I say a lot. I tell my little one a lot, man. Self-awareness, you dig what I'm saying, is a vital function of becoming a well-rounded and logical human being. You dig what I'm saying now? How is it lost on them that just from the baseline of things, let's take an example. I'm not of Indian descent, right? I don't eat foods with turmeric, right? How could I tell an Indian person the benefits or how it tastes or of turmeric if I don't live that life of eating that particular substance? How can I tell this person how it tastes and what to do with it? Just on that simple baseline of an analogy. You dig what I'm saying? If you don't make YouTube videos, how could you sit there and think like, oh man, it's probably easy to do what he do. It doesn't take a lot. You can get those little pieces of equipment from the thrift store. How could you tell? You don't know, right? So in this instance, like we see a lot, man, there's always people that are not of the culture assuming how people absorb the culture. You know, it's highly offensive to think that a person thinks like, I guess once you get to be 15 years old or something, you're set down and given all of the worst rap CDs and the worst movies to watch, and like every day you come home, we just beat these into your head and like start going out here into the world just like these people. Listen to Sexy Red. Man, we don't celebrate these people, bro. We give these people just as much smoke as y'all do. You dig what I'm saying? But we're also on the inside of this situation to be able to understand that our kids, not wholesale. Now, you've got a lot of factors that go into a particular part of our category, of our demographic, that leads them to grasping on these certain caricatures. You dig what I'm saying? These certain ways of life. You look at gangs and you say, man, what's the point of gangs? We joke on gangs, especially being down south. Gangs aren't a big deal to us. But when you look out to Chicago's and the LA's, and you joke on it and we joke on it, but at the same time, you have to understand a system of decades of this been going on leads to more fathers dead and in jail. That leads to single mothers that can't do anything with this son. It's just too rough out here. the government funding from various different branches and various different programs and how it's dispersed, that plays a role into how the neighborhood looks and what schools are available. You dig what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that goes into it, but you never hear them on to talk about that. You'll never hear them want to go into the real nuts and bolts of this thing. They'll just blame it on Lil Shop Like Vacuum Cleaner, the rapper. You dig what I'm saying? I swear every little kid want to be like Orange Hair Fireman. You dig what I'm saying? It's just like, it's crazy, bro. And that's why we have so much smoke for them when they come with that type of tomfoolery. They like the only people that love to look at our culture and tell us what's wrong with us. And don't understand when we like, bro, you out of your depth right now. You dig what I'm saying? It's not even what you characterize it as. And then secondly, it's not even, listen, bro, just get, you know what I'm saying? Fine, get you some business, cuz. He acts as though black people out here hunting white people, looking for somebody to harm. Come on, bro. Like, if that was the case, do you know how much smoke would be out here every day of the week? You dig what I'm saying? That's not the thing. But Jason could not knock him off of his soapbox. He continued on his trick. You dig what I'm saying? And when he arrived, this is how he first set up his thing when he get down there to Frisco, Texas, apparently before everybody else.
There's the stain. Oh my God. Lord Jesus, help us. That's Austin Metcalf's blood. That is Austin Metcalf's blood. Lord Jesus, help us. Oh, my heart is racing. This is exactly where the tent was. Still red.
Stadium. There's the blood stain. There is the blood stain. It's red still. Austin Metcalf's blood. Lord Jesus, help us. It's crying out for justice. His killer is home right now. I gotta get out of here before the police come. I just hopped the fence to get in here. His blood is crying out for justice. We need that killer behind bars. We will not rest. We need to protect white Americans. This scourge of black violence is too much. Okay, Kendall Stadium. We need to uplift our communities. I gotta get out of here, guys. I think I hear the cops coming.
It is amazing, bro. Like, would you not be embarrassed to say, like, this is like one of the people that represents your you know what I'm saying, your category, bro? Like, this is a curmudgeon, bro. This is an absolute fool. Cuz say he snuck in. Now I feel like it's probably someone from around there having to do with the administration that, you know, sympathize with his views and let him in. But he says he snuck in. He said he think he hears the police coming. He went into his little whatever type of getaway measures those were. He said that's Austin Metcalf's blood right there, screaming out for justice. And you know, I try not to apply any type of humor when I'm speaking on Austin himself, because like I say, bro, I don't think anyone is celebrating that. But just the way that people seize upon things, man, and try to put their spin on it, and applying a rebuttal to it, and pointing out the tomfoolery behind it, man, it elicits, you know, it elicits some humorous situations, man. You dig what I'm saying? Instances. You understand me and what I'm saying? But that's Jake Lang. He snuck in before the crowds. He's gonna head outside and get ready for the crowd to arrive.
Fear. This is tyranny. This is the tyranny our founding fathers warned us about. We are asking the American people, do not be silent on this issue. There was 350,000 last year. It'll be 400,000 next year.
Together. We don't want to have to run and separate the races just because the violence is so nasty and abhorrent. We are calling upon Black Americans, condemn Carmelo Anthony, and demand that justice be served today. Demand justice be served today. There is a killer on the loose in Frisco, Texas. His name is Carmelo Anthony. He has a knife, and he's coming for your children next. At a peaceful track meet, our children are being slain, gunned down, and murdered. We have an assault over here.
We got our first arrest.
We have an assault over here.
Pepper spray?
Yes.
This woman right here in the mask. She made someone. Please get rid of her.
He was getting in her fucking face.
She got assaulted. I got it on video.
Move, please. Move, please. You're interfering by not letting us walk.
Back up.
Do not get in the way.
Let her go! 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 Let her go!
You're done.
Back up! Get back up! Get in touch! Get in touch! Get back! Stay back!
What the fuck? Oh, you're so big. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. You're gonna
The only reason why he's not in jail right now is because he's a young black man. If he was a white man, an Hispanic man, any other race, he'd be in jail right now. You better believe you stab someone, you're not getting out of jail. But he's let out of jail because of them. And that's the true racism. The racism of low expectations. It's okay that black people are killing so many white people. It's okay because, you know, it's normal. It's not normal actually to kill people. It's not normal actually to kill a child.
So you see there, the crowd arrives. I mean, by the droves. Standing room only type of situation. Police activity in anticipation of droves of sympathizers. Boys ready to make some noise out here. They ready to do something, cuz. Well, the people get there. We got a little bit of fracas in the parking lot. Some little counter protesters. You know what I'm saying? They clean that little situation up, and then the people started to speak.
We've got Trump. We don't have Fed tramps right now.
Yeah.
Not for us.
Good point.
We used to be afraid of the feds.
We're not anymore. We beat the feds. We beat the feds.
Yeah.
We beat the feds. We secured pardons for all the J6ers. We won. We did it. We convinced Donald Trump to pardon all the J6ers instead of just doing half or a portion of them. So we completely defeated the feds. Got all those guys fired. Got the J6 prosecutors fired. We won 100% won. Total, utter defeat of the feds.
Do you think that anybody who was in here after today?
Here's what I think is going to happen.
Look at the judge.
Yeah, I think that whatever verdict is reached, if Carmelo Anthony was a white guy and a Trump supporter, I guarantee you the verdict would be much different. And they may both end up being come out as guilty, but the white kid would get a lot more time than Carmelo Anthony is going to get if the white kid did the same thing he did. They get a way more time, and that's part of the reason why we're out here. I mean, the simple fact that he's out right now after killing someone. I mean, dude, like us, for example, as Trump supporters, they threw us in jail without a trial, and they held us without a trial, all right? I mean, like, literally, you're supposed to be able to get out on bail, right? Get out on bail. There was no bail. There was no amount of money. They said, you can't post bail. You're just staying in there. Then 12 days later, yeah, you can get out. We'll lower your bail from $1 million to $250,000. What? They're literally making it so you can get out. That's why they lowered it that much. They saw how much money was raised. If you go ahead and go to a track meet, you bring a knife, you stab someone, they say, hey, buy my t-shirts, I stabbed a white guy. You deserve to get some shit. I'm not saying you should get death threats, but you're going to get some shit. And you probably deserve that shit. Yeah. Imagine if I stabbed this dude. I'm like, hey, I stabbed him. Buy my t-shirts. Like, that's what he's doing. He actually started doing it just the other day. Actually, just yesterday, yeah. Like, he literally just started selling these shirts saying, justice for Carmelo, justice for Anthony, hashtag justice for Anthony. I'm just like, bro, like, okay, I'll wear your shirt, but when I say justice, it means he didn't go to prison, you know, for at least 40 to life or something like that. That's real justice.
That, ladies and gentlemen, that is a one Philip Anderson. Listen, my mind is blown right now, bro. I swear to God. I have not seen the videos that I uncovered about this fella until today when I started putting together this episode. I didn't think this was a real person, bro. I did not think Philip Anderson was a real person. You know, I know it's a lot of bots on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of easy to scope him out. But I did not know that Philip Anderson was a real person. Philip said some of the lamest bootlicking, shoe shining, butter biscuit things I've ever heard, bro. Like, it was no way he was a real person. But lo and behold, there he is. Now, apparently, Mr. Philip Anderson, he deep in the game, cuz. Like, bro, deep in the game. He truly crazy. You heard he was about to have a manic episode at the end of that. He about to go crazy, bro. But we got wind of Mr. Philip Anderson back at old J6. Now, you should understand, he almost got showed that he was still a black man.
All right. Hi, I'm Phil Banderson. I want to give a warning to the world and to the entire country here in America. We can take back our country whenever we want. We can take back the Capitol building whenever we want. We can take back all Washington, D.C. whenever we want. And the police can't stop us. It's true that we do back the blue, but they can't stop us. We pushed right past them. We got right into, we moved the gates, we broke down the gates, we broke right into the Capitol building, we stormed it, we took over, and we ended the hoax. We ended the steal. I want the whole country to know that's been a game this entire year with BLM and Antifa. They're not a real threat. They're just throwing a little temper tantrum. We're the real power, and no one can stop us. Not the military, not the police, not corrupt officials, no one. We can kick you out whenever we feel like it. We can take back the country whenever we feel like it. We are the people. Nothing will stop this. Give us justice, or else this is what you're going to have. And this is just the warm-up. I'm Philip Anderson. You can find me on Parler at Team Save America.
You can also find Philip Anderson at your local dentist office outside begging for a procedure. Did he lose his teeth? I didn't know what was going on. Did he lose his teeth at J6? Did he show up to J6? Like, I could see why somebody like Philip, because, you know, if you walk around with no fronts like that at a young age, it's like, what's going on, bro? Did you get beat up, couldn't defend yourself? Did you have bad hygiene, or your teeth rotted away at such a young age? That's crazy. As you get older, we can maybe understand, but Philip seems to be a young guy. What is going on with your grill is one of the first things I think we should just address before we move on. You feel me? So, this weed thing, you know, it is so strange to me how certain people really think that certain other people look at them and see the same type of person as them. It is so strange to me. I will also remind you all, if you don't understand, if you don't remember, the participants on January the 6th of that year got nothing accomplished. In fact, what they did was get themselves sent to prison, which Trump let them back out. They got a young lady by the name of Ashley Babbitt killed. There were about 6 police officers that I think one of them may have died on the scene. Handful of others died after the guilt of being a part of such a thing and all of that. Medical problems, being sprayed with bear spray. That's what they got accomplished. Looking like some damn fools. Everything proceeded on without a hitch as far as the government is concerned. You dig what I'm saying? So they can in fact do what they want to do and take this back and take that and third. Nothing got accomplished, but everybody looking at them like fools. And then they turn around and cried and swear that it wasn't an insurrection. They didn't go up there to disrupt it. But you hear it from the horse's tongue. He doesn't exactly have a mouth. It's in disarray right now. But that's Philip. That's where Philip got his start. He was over there on Parler and things like that at the J6. A younger Philip with no teeth was out here in these streets, man. You understand what I'm saying? Making a name for himself. Going on from that, we go outside and you know, we get up because we've got, as we get through now, we've got the main part. You have got to stick around to hear from the father of Austin Metcalf, and we're about a video or two away from it. Now they go outside and Mr. Phillip continues to put on his tap dancing show.
We've got Trump. We don't have Fed traps right now.
Yeah.
Not for us.
Good point.
We used to be afraid of the feds.
We're not anymore. We beat the feds. We beat the feds. Yeah. We beat the feds. We secured pardons for all the J6ers. We won. We did it. We convinced Donald Trump to pardon all the J6ers instead of just doing half or a portion of them. So we completely defeated the feds. Got all those guys fired. Got the J6 prosecutors fired. We won 100% won. Total, utter defeat of the feds.
Do you think that anybody who was in your actor today?
I think here's what I think is going to happen.
Look at the judge.
I think that whatever verdict is reached, hey, Carmela Anthony.
We ain't got no friend but Trump. We ain't got no friend but Trump. Sir, I would like to inform you that I don't even think Donald Trump gives a flying fuck about you. You dig what I'm saying? Then you see Cuz say, pray for abortion and remember the Alamo. What? The Alamo for what? What happened at the Alamo? Wasn't that with Mexicans and the South? Who gives a damn about the Alamo? This just let you know the mind state. Look at his flags. This man is riding around in a chair that's for people that have limited to no mobility. Is what I'm telling you. And this man has got a Confederate flag, signs all about his situation there. And he wants people to remember the Alamo. You couldn't make this. I'd be utterly ashamed, bro. Then let's check. Look at Phil. Phil done gained him some weight. They must be, since he went to the J6 thing, look like they donating to him good. He done gained some weight. He got his teeth fixed. You did what I'm saying. I hear you, Philip Anderson. I guess they do love you, bro.
You get a way more time, and that's part of the reason why we're out here. I mean, the simple fact that he's out right now after killing someone. I mean, dude, like us, for example, as Trump supporters, they threw us in jail without a trial, and they held us without a trial, all right? I mean, like, literally, you're supposed to be able to get out on bail, right? Get out on bail. There was no bail. There was no amount of money. They said, you can't post bail. You're just staying in there. Then 12 days later, you can get out. We'll lower your bail from $1 million to $250,000. What? You're literally making it so you can get out. That's why they lowered it that much. They saw how much money was made. If you go ahead, you go to a track meet, you bring a knife, you stab someone, they say, hey, buy my t-shirts, I stabbed a white guy. You deserve to get some shit. I'm not saying you should get death threats, but you're gonna get some shit, and you probably deserve that shit. Imagine if I stabbed this dude, I'm like, hey, I stabbed him, buy my t-shirts. Like, that's what he's doing. He actually started doing it just the other day, actually just yesterday, yeah. Like, he literally just started selling these shirts saying, justice for Carmel or justice for Anthony. Hashtag justice for Anthony. I'm just like, bro, like, okay, I'll wear your shirt, but when I say justice, it means you need to go to prison, you know, for at least 40 to life or something like that. That's real justice.
Good old Philip. Philip said they beat the feds, him and Jake Lane. You see, Jake had they killed me with that Martin Luther King promoting, bro. It's like, I think they feel like if they, you know, since they quote Martin Luther King or put a picture around, like that absolve them of being racist or whatever. It is wild as hell. Cuz over there said, remember the Alamo, global warming is a lie. Philip said, bro, need 40 years or so. And he said something that stuck out to me, bro. This has been like a discrepancy that we've spoken on in the culture for years. You know what I'm saying? The difference in the amount of time that a black kid or a black guy, a black woman or what have you gets as opposed to a white person with the exact same charge. You dig what I'm saying? there's been judges that have been, taken off the bench and all of that for, being found out that they hand out harsher sentences to black people. I mean, this has been known for years. Philip say had the roles been reversed and it had been a white kid that stabbed a black kid, he would have gotten more time or a higher bond and this, that, and the third. And I don't believe that to be true. The reason that they jumping on that soapbox and swearing that black people got it good and get preferential treatment in the justice system, like, who has ever thought that was true about the black community? But the reason they jump on it is because in large and in part, white people are being held accountable for their racist actions these days. You dig what I'm saying? People aren't letting that slide. People have cell phones these days. Policemen that shoot unarmed black men or shoot black men without a weapon or just over aggressive situation are being held accountable. And that's not a bad thing. That's a very good thing. But that's why they're acting as though, black people got it good. They don't treat it. It's like, bro, the wins that we get or the situations that we get that don't go in the usual bad situation pale in comparison to the number of times that it still goes messed up for, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. We hadn't gotten near the territory to where that one outweighs what's actually happening. You dig what I'm saying? But that's Philip on his soapbox, you know what I'm saying? Now we gonna roll on into the last part of this. And this was actually beautiful because we find ourselves getting mad at I think like the entire group because it's hard to delineate one from the other. But when you see a reaction like this and the reaction that he's pretty much been given through this whole thing, it forces you to take a step back, man, and understand that not every one of them are exactly the same. But before we get there, man, I don't know this guy, but he came out and pulled this little move. I don't even really know how to feel about it. But I'll let you all check it out and you tell me what you think.
We de-escalated it. This is what we should do. That's how we act. That's the Americans. This is a disruptor.
I'm not disrupting anything. You're free to proceed with your production.
You disrupted
your production.
Your presence.
I'm not doing anything
celebrating
wrong.
a murder.
I'm not doing anything
Your presence
wrong.
is celebrating a murder.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Why would you come like this is a joke?
Carmelo Anthony, one of the greatest scorers of his generation. We all know this.
Come on, that's so low. That's lower than the lowest filth I've ever seen. Can you please ask God to enter your heart right now? I know my man Jesus, and he wants to know you. Jesus Christ can save you right now. You can be delivered from the demonic energy that is pervading your heart. Just lift your hand up, say, God, forgive me of my sin.
Forgive me my sin.
Jesus Christ, enter my heart.
Jesus Christ, enter my heart.
And I will take this jersey off right now, Lord.
And I will celebrate the 3-time gold medalist,
I will take this jersey
Carmelo
off
Anthony.
right now in the name of Jesus. I will take this jersey off right now in the name of Jesus.
You're not a prophet. You're not a prophet. You're not a God. You are not
Carmelo
a God.
Anthony for murdering Austin Metcalf and
We got a super chat donation.
and demand upon the judge to revoke his bail. Do you want that murder in your neighborhood? Do you want that man plunging a knife into one of your people?
I can't stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. I'm from New York. I like Carmelo Anthony.
Nah, don't play stupid.
I don't get it.
Play stupid, bro.
What am I doing?
You're playing stupid, bro.
Yeah, you are. You know what you're doing?
I like Melo.
Yo, get this guy out of here.
Entertainer, bro. You're good at playing stupid, huh?
Birch. That's the
You're good at playing stupid.
Yeah, it's the guy looks pretty young. He's a mature, he's a young guy, a young kid. I make jokes about death every now and then. When I saw
Can I have a conversation with you?
No, because you could have called him before that. You could have called him.
I've been reaching out. I'm one of the biggest figures in America. Nobody's ever.
I've given your message. I've given you your message, and here's the response.
Family members, everybody I could
I've given you your message, and here's the response.
You've not given my message. You've given your message.
What he said was
What's your issue with the event? What do we do wrong?
He said that you, as a father, should be on the bus with him, delivering the message he's delivering. Unfortunately, he's not a father, and the gentleman with is not a father. Maybe they don't understand what loss is. But at the end of the day, I've given your message.
I do understand what loss is. I lost family members.
Let me have 1 minute of my message to Jeff Metcalf.
Call him.
Okay, this is bullshit, bro.
He's on the phone right now.
This is bullshit. This is not a good faith discussion. You're not going to talk to him, bro.
Hold on. So, Jeff, go ahead. Go ahead. Jake?
Hey, Jeff, it's Jake Lang here. Jeff, first of all, my entire heart rests in your hands. I would be in my position, not even as somebody that knew your son, but somebody that shares the same understanding. I grew up as a 17-year-old young white man too, and I grew up in fear of my life around black people because they were killing and robbing people around me all the time. And I don't understand, as I was a father, you could sit idly by and not condemn the culture that killed your son. There is an epidemic problem in this country, and your voice could be one of the loudest voices in this country, but you've chosen to recoil out of fear and continue the suppression. Why will you not stand with me and with the rest of the people? We're not calling for racial divide. We're not calling for hatred. We're saying 350,000 attacks on white people by black people a year in this country is wrong. Why can't you stand that and say with that? Maybe you can. Would you be willing to stand by me in a press conference or in an individual interview and talk about this issue that is larger than Austin at this point? God rest a beautiful young man's soul that would have been one of our strongest voices if he was still alive today.
Utterly amazing, man. Now, a couple things. Let's say this 350,000 attacks by black people on white people is true. Let's just say hypothetically that's true. With the number of white people that attack black people, is that okay? You know what I'm saying? I like to put everything into on the same plate. You know, it's just when black people attack white people, it's a problem. I'm guessing that's it. That's his take. That's his stance. That's his opinion. He went into this whole little diatribe about I grew up as a 17-year-old white guy, and I was afraid for my life. Why won't you stand with me? You've shrunken into the darkness of suppression, and as a father, you know that as a father line is what got Stephen A. The shoe shiner. That's what got him in trouble, talking to people as a father. That's when you get into bad territory. And this little young whippersnapper right here talking to that man about being a father, his role as a father, and what he should do and how he should feel about his son. It's just like, in what world, bro? In what world? But these are your representatives. You know what I'm saying? These are the people that you retweet 100,000 times. These are the people you send money to. They make you look like absolute curmudgeon fools. This is why you're the laughingstock of the nation, man. Forget why this is why you lost. This is why you're fools. That loss doesn't affect people the way that you think it does, because it's affecting everyone. Some of us were prepared or were more prepared to deal with life as it comes anyways. You dig what I'm saying? It seems that many of you were not. But that's where we are. Now, we've got a beautiful response from Austin Metcalf's father, and let's get right into that right now.
Would you be willing to stand by me in a press conference or in an individual interview and talk about this issue that is larger than Austin at this point? God rest the beautiful young man's soul that would have been one of our strongest voices if he was still alive today.
Are you done?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, my turn to speak. You are part of the fucking problem, my friend. You're trying to create more race divide than bridging the gap. I do not condone anything you do. You do not have any fucking...
That's called white guilt.
No, let it talk.
My son, let me finish. I gave you your time. You take my son's face off your website. I am not associated with you.
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir.
Thanks.
You are creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness.
Here, you are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak. Condemn your son's killer and the culture that caused it.
Hey, Jeff.
That's the problem. You've been submitted.
Hold on, hey, Jeff.
You've been submitted.
I'll handle it from here.
You've been submitted, sir.
You're not gonna make us back down.
If we were all of your nature,
guys, listen.
You're not gonna save us.
Do you know who you're talking to? You don't, do you?
I'm talking to a black man.
You don't. No, you're not.
Okay.
You sit here, you talk about Trump.
But I am. You're not
Google my name and Trump. No. When you do that, my name is Bruce.
I agree with black males winning.
Google that.
But they're not winning right now.
You're doing,
they're becoming degenerates.
But what you're doing
and murdering white people.
You're not helping America. You're no more patriotic than I am. No way.
Where were you on
January 6th?
You've been silent. It's only gotten worse.
Where were you on January 6th?
You've been silent. It's only gotten worse.
Where were you? Did you stand for your country?
So you think that made you patriot because you showed up there? Does that make you a patriot?
Joe Biden,
because you showed up.
All you're doing is condemning us. What's your solution?
My solution is to help people where they're weak. So we have an issue in young black males' lives across the country.
It's not say that to Jeff Metcalf.
Say that to Jeff Metcalf.
We talk about it, man.
Say it.
At the end of the day, the man is asking. So let me ask you this: you got a father who's grieving, and your response is he's weak.
My father is celebrating my strength right now.
You have no idea. You'll never win the Senate. And what I'll do, I'll come to Florida and run for Senate and run as a Republican, and I'll kick your butt.
No, you lose, bro.
You need 2 years of presidency in Florida.
Because this behavior is why we're in the situation where we are.
No.
We get these. Is that what it is? Okay. Well, at the end of the day, he's asked you what to do and what not to do.
Listen,
you have a right to do it or not to do it.
You can say not about Austin Metcalf, but we're going to continue this movement.
I love somebody
You
enough
love
to
the
be
thought of
strong
using Austin for T-shirts, for propaganda, and to get out here and talk about
you want to shut down a white man right now.
I'll shut you down.
You're not shutting me down.
I'm not raising money like
because I got family.
I'm not raising money like
put down anymore. No, bro, you stop. You came here to try to shut him down.
No, I came here to give him a message from a father.
And listen,
but I realized that's not his deal.
Let's be honest. You're a black man trying to shut him down.
Now, I'm not sure what the people were clapping for at the end, if they were clapping for the father's response or the response of Kurt Mudgeon, number 1 and number 2, which went along the lines of, you're weak, you're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your submissiveness. Is that what he said? Black guy here. Yeah, you are being weak. They're talking to this man that just lost his son, bro. And what's more important to them is that they make a statement in support of them and the 15 people out there, what they doing. And override his true to form, heartfelt feelings about his son and his situation and how he rocks and go forward in life. They want him to bypass all of that and just become team Jake Lang and Philip Anderson. This is a tweet that Philip Anderson put up after that. In what world, bro? I guess the world we living in right now. And you know, Pops pretty much put a bow on this thing, man, and I really appreciate it. The grace to be able to see the clarity through. I mean, losing a son, bro, I cannot even imagine what it's like to lose a child. But he is absolutely correct when he says, man, y'all are seizing upon this and making it political and using it to get out a message that isn't true, isn't something that I align with. I think he's taking into account the role that his son played in this event. And it's going to let the process play out. You know what I'm saying? He see that they seized upon an opportunity to say that Carmelo and his family, Anthony and his family took the give, send, go money and bought a house and a car. No, these people were living in the mansion prior to that. They were riding big prior to that. What they did was move into a gated community, rent a house in the gated community because of the death threats of violence they were getting. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm sure they knew that before they reported, but they come out and say, oh, just like BLM, they took the money and ran with it. And it's crazy, bro. So Pops came out and stood on business, man, and I really have to appreciate that from him. It's not that we were facing any type of smoke out here that we were scared about and hoping he put a little lid on it. Yeah, we already knew that it wasn't gonna be many people to show up. Because it's an off-base approach to what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? When the roles have been switched, we've seen them do the same thing as far as donating money, give the benefit of the doubt, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So it was utterly amazing and just, ultimately disgusting, man, the way that they've taken this young man's untimely demise and tried to mold it into something they could stand on and demonize the entire culture. So that's where we are right now, man. Carmelo is at home. Rest in peace to Austin Metcalf. We'll see what happens with the trial, but I'm sure there'll probably be some more rumblings about that between now and then. But if there's something worth bringing, I will bring it to my folks. And until then, just like that, man, I'm out.